Welcome to SPASRO. Hello ladies and gentlemen, today we will see about Mars and Saturn in 3rd house. In astrology, the interpretation of the positions of planets in a specific house of a birth chart can provide insights into a person's personality, strengths, challenges, and life experiences. When Mars and Saturn are both placed in the 3rd house of a natal chart, it can have several implications. 1. Communication style. The 3rd house is associated with communication, siblings, and short-distance travel. Mars represents energy, assertiveness, and drive, while Saturn represents discipline, structure, and responsibility. When these two planets are in the 3rd house, it suggests that the individual may have a dynamic and assertive communication style. They are likely to express themselves with determination and may not shy away from debates or conflicts when it comes to their ideas and opinions. 2. Mental discipline. Saturn's presence in the 3rd house can indicate a disciplined and organized mind. These individuals may be systematic and methodical in their thinking and communication. They might excel in tasks that require attention to detail and a patient approach to problem solving. 3. Siblings and neighbors. The 3rd house also represents siblings and neighbors. With Mars and Saturn here, there could be a sense of responsibility or duty towards siblings, or they might have a somewhat challenging or authoritative relationship with them. They may take on a mentorship or caregiving role in their interactions with siblings. 4. Drive for learning. Mars in the 3rd house can indicate a strong desire to learn, explore, and gather information. These individuals may have a competitive streak when it comes to their studies or intellectual pursuits. Saturn's influence can add patience and persistence to their learning process. 5. Challenges in communication. While these placements can provide a structured and determined approach to communication, there might also be challenges in this area. Saturn can bring inhibitions or self-doubt, which may make the person hesitant to express themselves at times. They could be overly critical of their own communication skills. 6. Short trips and travel. Mars and Saturn in the 3rd house may lead to frequent short trips or travel for work or educational purposes. These journeys may be associated with responsibilities or duties. 7. Conflict and frustration. There can be a potential for conflict between the assertive energy of Mars and the restrictive influence of Saturn. Individuals with this placement may need to find ways to balance their desire for action and their need for structure. They might experience frustration when their assertiveness clashes with external limitations. It's important to note that the overall interpretation of a birth chart is highly complex, as it depends on the positions of all the planets, their aspects, and the individual's unique life experiences. The interpretation of Mars and Saturn in the 3rd house should be considered within the broader context of the entire birth chart to gain a more comprehensive understanding of the individual's personality and life path. Consulting with a professional astrologer can provide personalized insights into how these placements influence a specific individual's life. Certainly, let's delve a bit deeper into the implications of having Mars and Saturn in the 3rd house in astrology. 8. Verbal aggressiveness. Mars represents aggression and assertiveness, and in the 3rd house of communication, it can sometimes manifest as verbal aggressiveness. People with this placement might be more direct and assertive in their speech, which can sometimes come across as confrontational or argumentative. 9. Drive for achievement. Saturn's influence in the 3rd house can lead to a strong desire for achievement and recognition in intellectual pursuits. These individuals may be highly motivated to excel in their studies, writing, or communication-related fields. 10. Structure in learning. Saturn's disciplined nature can help individuals with this placement in establishing a structured approach to learning. They may thrive in educational environments that provide clear guidelines and a systematic curriculum. 11. Limitations in communication. On the downside, Saturn's presence can also indicate limitations or inhibitions in communication. Some people with this placement might struggle with self-expression or have difficulty conveying their thoughts and ideas effectively. They may need to work on overcoming self-imposed restrictions in communication. 12 siblings and authority. There might be a dynamic involving authority figures, Saturn, within the family or particularly with siblings, 3rd house. These individuals may take on a role of responsibility or authority in their relationships with their brothers and sisters, or they might perceive their siblings as having such roles. 13 Conflict resolution. These individuals could have a natural ability to mediate conflicts or negotiate effectively due to Mars' assertiveness and Saturn's knack for structure. They may be called upon to resolve disputes within their immediate environment. 14 Writing skills. The 3rd house is associated with writing and communication in general. With Mars and Saturn here, these individuals may excel in writing, but it might be a process that requires careful planning and revision due to Saturn's influence. 15 Stress management. This placement can sometimes indicate a higher level of mental stress or pressure due to the conflicting energies of Mars, action, and Saturn, restriction. Learning healthy stress management techniques can be essential for maintaining mental and emotional balance. 16 Short distance travel and responsibilities. Frequent short trips and travel related to work, education, or family obligations may be a common theme for individuals with Mars and Saturn in the 3rd house. These trips might come with added responsibilities or duties. As always, it's crucial to remember that astrology provides a framework for understanding personality traits and life patterns, but it should not be used as the sole determinant of one's character or life experiences. The unique combination of planetary positions in an individual's birth chart and their personal choices and experiences will ultimately shape their life journey. Consulting with a professional astrologer can provide more personalized and nuanced insights based on the complete birth chart. Certainly, here are some additional insights into the placement of Mars and Saturn in the 3rd house. 17 Conflict with siblings. While the 3rd house represents siblings, with Mars and Saturn present, there may be a tendency toward conflict or rivalry with siblings. The assertive energy of Mars can sometimes lead to disagreements, while Saturn can indicate a sense of responsibility or authority issues within sibling relationships. 18 Teaching and mentorship. Individuals with this placement may have a natural inclination toward teaching or mentorship roles. They could find fulfillment in guiding others, whether it's through formal teaching, coaching, or simply offering advice and support to friends and acquaintances. 19 Structured communication style. These individuals often have a structured and organized way of communicating. They may prefer to plan their conversations and presentations in advance, making sure they convey their points clearly and logically. 20 Drive for knowledge. Mars in the 3rd house signifies a strong drive for knowledge and learning. Saturn's influence can add a sense of seriousness to this pursuit, making these individuals dedicated and determined when it comes to acquiring new information and skills. 21 Patience in communication. Saturn's presence can bring patience to the way these individuals communicate. They are less likely to rush through conversations and may take their time to ensure they express themselves accurately. 22 Writing as a career. With the 3rd house's association with writing and communication, Mars and Saturn here can indicate a potential for a career in writing, journalism, or other forms of communication where discipline and assertiveness are assets. 23 Responsibility in local community. These individuals may feel a strong sense of responsibility toward their local community or neighborhood. They might actively engage in community activities, take on leadership roles, or contribute to community improvement projects. 24 Balancing act. Balancing the assertive energy of Mars and the restrictive nature of Saturn in the 3rd house can be a lifelong challenge. Learning to harness their assertiveness constructively and manage any tendencies towards impatience or frustration is essential for personal growth. 25 Conflict resolution skills. Due to the combination of Mars' assertiveness and Saturn's problem-solving abilities, these individuals may excel at conflict resolution. They can bring a structured approach to resolving disputes and disagreements in their social circles. 26 Travel for educational purposes. Short-distance travel might often be related to educational pursuits or acquiring knowledge. These trips could be seen as opportunities for growth and expanding one's horizons. 27 Work in technical fields. The third house also represents technical skills and interests. With Mars and Saturn here, individuals might excel in technical or scientific fields that require both assertiveness and attention to detail. Remember that astrology provides a framework for understanding certain personality traits and tendencies, but it doesn't determine one's fate. Individual experiences can vary widely, and the entire birth chart should be considered for a more accurate and comprehensive analysis. Consulting with a professional astrologer can provide further insights tailored to a specific individual's birth chart and life circumstances.